Um, okay, it's practically a long story. As Pauline just showed in the roadmap, when we from Gameloft were acquired by Ubisoft, we were actually a mass sport studio. You know, like you didn't have a lot of designers, you didn't have a lot of artists. It's completely like Gameloft had a different architecture of how do you work. So the first thing was we have this area where our current teams, that is majorly the programmers, working on mobile platforms, much onto mobile Java or Symbian kind of technologies. So the first thing, let's get them trained. You know, that's a huge amount of money invested in people, like 45 programmers, shifting them on to C++ programming, and thinking about the viable areas where they could evolve. So that's a lot of time that was invested in it. Plus improving our design and art teams. You know, literally there weren't anyone. We just had, I'll just take in one guy. I had Jitesh, he was a producer at Gameloft, and he had a past experience of being a lead game designer. And I think in 1 year, he stepped down from a producer and he said like, Jitan, that time we had David as a studio manager. He told to us that I want to go into game design. You know, we didn't have as a benchmark a game designer in studio. So he helped us to build a game design team. In terms of art, we already had Luel as our senior artist over there. Again, he's more of from a 2D background, but still he managed to scale up a team which could scale into bring in a 3D team, work on 3D projects. So it's quality. And giving in more exposure to the employees over here. Expand the teams, expand the IPs that we work over here. So for the past 1 year, we have been evolving in that. And next 2 years, again, it's her vision as a studio manager of how we should expand on. But from acquisition of Gameloft till today, this is what we have done. I hope it answered your question.
I can add maybe one word on team structure and responsibilities given. When I arrived a year and a half ago, job definition or job desk and not around projects. I believe that people should be judged on what they deliver. So I cannot imagine a structure that is built around just job descriptions or responsibilities that are vague. I want every single artist, programmer, producer, designer to work on one game, and before delivering this game they need to deliver the conception and then they need to deliver the vertical slice. So I changed the structure of the studio from a very factory-like, I would say, you know, like a waterfall, classical programming, design, art, into something that's more around. It's usually less efficient in terms of time. It takes more time to do something, but it's the only way, I believe. Again, there's no magical recipe, it's just the way I work. I think it's the best way to make sure that the quality is going to be brought by increments.
I want to ask, how do you get a better quality work done from an artist? Is it, because at times it happens you give them feedback and they are kind of stuck in an environment from which they cannot get out. And
yeah, plus feedback, okay. The question is, how do you get to improve the quality of what an artist is giving? And usually they're getting feedbacks from many people, but is it enough to higher quality, right? Usually, people who are judging the quality of the art that is done are not artists. So it's tough for them, and it's bad feedbacks. Where I believe you can improve the most the work that your artists are doing is in two ways. The first one is reference. Have them define what is their universe in terms of reference. So what we create every single time we do a game in Ubisoft is, first thing is, it's a mood board. You know, it's pictures coming from Google image, knowledge, and it will give the identity of the game that you want to create. It's like a stone that you set, and then you create benchmarks that is being done by the artists themselves. For instance, creating fake final screenshots. So way before anything is playable, we do create an image that is a fake representation of what the game should be when it's going to be out. And this includes environments, characters, UI, everything. This will give you not only the positioning of the game that you're going to do, visual positioning, I mean, it's going to give a benchmark for everybody to refer to, so they know what they need to attain. And it's got two effects. The first one is that everybody in the team knows where you want to head and what needs to be done. And usually, it's really cool to have a great image. So people are very motivated to work towards this direction. If you're asking your 3D programmers to work on I don't know, like a wrapper that will then allow them to do whatever, it's very abstract. If you're telling them, look, it can look this way, you know, this is very engaging and very motivating. It's a way to communicate with the marketing teams and the head office or your publisher on what is the game way before it's actually done. So references, mood boards, and fake screenshots. And the persona method. The persona methodology I was describing, this is key for your artist to not be off. I don't care about having great images or great assets if they're not talking to my audience. It needs to resonate for them because they love it or because they need it. Great art can be totally wrong if it's targeted to the wrong audience.
Thank you.
Many other things are training, of course. We're not the best yet on this topic. We're trying, but constant training, mixing teams. If you're bringing some great senior artists from another country to help out, there are many ways to
One more question.
Okay, so that will be the last question.
Can I ask one more question?
Negotiate with her. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm feeling a bit junior to answer this. I don't know yet well the Indian market, but my belief today is that I don't think Ubisoft should target the Indian market. I don't think it should target it now, not in 3 years, not in 5 years. I would say 10. So the mission of this studio in India is to create great content for the global markets. That's one of the answers, is that even if the local market stays small, I don't care much. I have the US and I have Europe and I have China and I have other markets to serve. Then we're still studying, looking for what's happening in mobile, on the web in India. And it's been Ubisoft's strategy for a very long time to come into a country way before it's actually economically smart to do it. So in China, for instance, we started our office in 95 or 96. And we're happy to be there today with China exploding. And in Montreal, when we started Ubisoft in Montreal, that was in 96. At this time, there was no real video game industry in Quebec or in Canada, and we were the first one to negotiate with the government to get support and subsidies and etc. And after this, it's expanded a lot. So yes, it's a long-term strategic move, but we need to show that we can raise the quality for this strategic move to be the right one. We good? Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks. You know what? It's like super cool and super tiring. It's very tiring. But no, it's. I believe that working with the teams here in India has been the most enjoyable experience I had from a human standpoint. It's extremely. It's really, my days are like full of joy of seeing such goodwill, such motivation to do things the right way. So this is absolutely, like, I'm cherishing this. That said, we're not there yet at a level where I would feel very, confident and believe that everything will go smooth and that the quality is the best, etc. So we're still really at the beginning of this curve, but this is done from a human standpoint with like great teams. So, thanks, guys. Standpoints with like great teams. So, thanks, guys.